Did you know that in Italy there's a small village that has been abandoned for over 50 years? It's called Krakow, and it sits high up on a hilltop overlooking the valley below. The town was built in the 13th century, and for many years it thrived. But then in the 1700s, the population started to decline, and by the 1960s, it was pretty much deserted. Today, only a few tourists visit the town each year to see its crumbling buildings and learn about its fascinating history. In this video, we will discover why Italy has so many abandoned villages, how the country's unique geography has shaped its history, and finally, what life is like for those who live in Italy today. So sit back, grab a gelato, and let's get started. Italy is a beautiful country with a rich history. But did you know that it has a dark past as well? From the brutal Roman Empire to the Mafia, Italy has seen its fair share of violence throughout the centuries. But don't worry, we won't go into too much detail here. We just want to give you a little taste of Italy's dark history so that you can appreciate how far the country has come. Let's start with the Roman Empire. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built on the ashes of many. As the empire grew, it became more and more powerful, but this power came at a cost. The Romans were known for their brutality, and they weren't afraid to use violence to get what they wanted. They conquered much of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, and they did so by burning entire cities to the ground, enslaving people, and torturing their enemies. But the Roman Empire wasn't the only violent force in Italian history. In more recent centuries, Italy has been plagued by organized crime. The most famous of these groups is the Mafia, which originated in Sicily. The Mafia is a criminal organization that engages in all sorts of illegal activities, from extortion to murder. They have a long history in Italy, and they were especially active during the 19th and 20th centuries. Of course, this isn't all that happened in Italy throughout the years. There was also the Renaissance, the time of great artistic and cultural rebirth. Then there was World War II when Italy was occupied by the Nazis, and much more. But we don't have time to go into everything here. Just know that Italy has had its share of ups and downs throughout the centuries, and thankfully things are looking up for the country today. Now that we've covered some of Italy's dark history, let's move on to something a little lighter. What is life like in Italy today? If you've never visited the country before, you might be surprised by what you see. Italy is a modern country with bustling cities and a thriving economy. Of course, there are still some problems, like poverty and corruption. But overall, it's a great place to live if you're an Italian citizen. For starters, the country is absolutely stunning. From the rolling hills of Tuscany to the sparkling waters of the Amalfi Coast, Italy is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. And as an Italian, you get to enjoy all of this beauty every day. Plus, the food is amazing. We all know that Italian cuisine is some of the best in the world. If you live in Italy, you'll never be far from a delicious meal. Whether you're in the mood for pizza, pasta, or gelato, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Of course, no country is perfect, and Italy is no exception. One of the biggest problems facing Italy today is poverty. While the country is home to some of the world's most beautiful cities, it also has its fair share of slums. In fact, according to some estimates, nearly 20% of Italians live below the poverty line. This includes both children and adults. Many of them live in the southern part of the country, where unemployment is higher than in the north. Another problem facing Italy today is corruption. This is nothing new for the country, as it has been dealing with corrupt officials for centuries. However, things are slowly getting better. In recent years, the government has cracked down on corruption, and several high-ranking officials have been arrested. So what does the future hold for Italy? Well, nobody knows for sure, but most experts agree that the country has a lot of potential. With its stunning scenery, delicious food, and rich history, Italy is a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Of course, there are some problems that need to be addressed, but nothing that can't be fixed with time. Now that we've talked about life in Italy today, let's take a look at its unique geography. Italy is located in southern Europe, and it is bordered by France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia to the north, by the Mediterranean Sea to the south, and by San Marino and Vatican City to the center. Italy is a mountainous country with the Alps in the north and the Apennines running down the center. This has had a big impact on the country's history, culture, and economy. The mountains have always acted as a barrier between Italy and the rest of Europe. This has helped to preserve much of Italy's unique culture and way of life. The mountains have also made it difficult for Italy to develop economically. After all, it's hard to trade when you're surrounded by impassable terrain. That's one of the reasons why northern Italy is so much wealthier than the south. The north is closer to the Alps and the Po River Valley, which makes it easier for businesses to transport their goods. Despite its geographical challenges, Italy has thrived throughout the centuries. Its strategic location in the Mediterranean has given it control over one of the world's most important waterways. This has allowed Italy to become a major player in international trade. Additionally, Italy's mild climate has made it a popular destination for tourists from all over the world. Every year, millions of people visit Italy to see its amazing sights and soak up its Mediterranean sunshine. As you can see, Italy's geography has played a major role in shaping the country we know today. The mountains have protected Italy from outside invaders while also hindering its economic development. At the same time, Italy's location in the Mediterranean has given it great wealth. Finally, let's talk about why Italy has so many abandoned villages. As we mentioned earlier, Italy is a beautiful country with a rich history, but unfortunately, many of its small towns have been abandoned in recent years. This is due to a number of factors, including Italy's aging population, the country's high taxes, and the lack of jobs in rural areas. When people leave their homes and don't return, it creates a sort of domino effect. As the population declines, so does the town's tax base. This makes it difficult for the government to provide essential services such as healthcare and education. As these services deteriorate, more and more people leave the town until it becomes a ghost town. It's estimated that there are around 2,500 abandoned villages in Italy today. Most of these are located in the country's interior, particularly in the regions of Abruzzo, Molise, and Sardinia. While it's sad to see these towns abandoned, they do have a certain charm to them. Many of these villages are frozen in time, with empty streets and houses that are just waiting for someone to come and restore them. Some people even make a hobby out of exploring these abandoned villages. Who knows? Maybe you'll stumble upon one on your next trip to Italy. We hope you enjoyed learning about Italy. We certainly enjoyed putting this video together for you. From its stunning geography to its rich history and culture, Italy is a truly amazing country. We hope you get the chance to visit soon. And if you do, be sure to try the pizza and gelato. Trust us, you won't regret it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.